Let's talk about becoming that girl. Not the over edited, unrealistic version, but the real soft life, self loving, and financially smart version. If you're trying to glow up, live better, and build your dream life, this video is for you. I'm sharing 5 ways I'm leveling up financially, mentally, and emotionally, and is giving main character energy on a budget. Let's get into it. Tip number one, romanticizing the everyday. Self love starts with how you treat yourself every day, not just when you're on vacation. If you're talking type A personality, that's you getting up early in the morning when your alarm rings, not 2 hours after it, praying, brushing your teeth, freshening up, getting your hair and makeup done, and getting straight to work. If you're talking type B, that's you rolling out of bed whenever, ignoring the 5 alarms you set last night, and just getting on with your day. One person is getting stuff done regardless of how they feel in that moment, and the other person is relying and waiting on feeling better to be able to get stuff done. We no longer want to be the other person. We no longer want to be the disorganized person. We're looking to be the organized people who can take control of our lives and make stuff move. Sometimes you have to understand that you don't necessarily have to be going somewhere or be in a different environment for you to be able to treat yourself better. You're at home, light a candle, draw a bath, read a book. These things don't have to wait for you to be in Italy or Portofino for them to happen. They can happen right now, this evening, in your own home. I like candles, play soft music, and dress up for myself even when I'm not going anywhere, even when I don't plan on being seen, because there's one person that I can count on seeing me, and that is myself, because I have mirrors literally everywhere. And I love looking at myself. So why not make it a pleasant experience for the one person who matters most? Me. So the key word and the key takeaway is that soft life doesn't always mean spending more. Sometimes it's about being intentional with what you have, because trust me, you have everything you need at this very moment. Not everything you want, I might say, but everything you need. Tip number two, financial independence is the new sexy. What we saw growing up, or what we were taught, is that the wealthy people are the ones having the best life. Unless they were born into that, they did not start out as wealthy people. Most people who have a lot of wealth or riches today started as regular people who took control of their finances and made it work. They knew the vision they had for themselves, that 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, I want to be in this particular space, and I'm not going to get there by going out every single Friday to buy drinks for me and my friends. I'm not going to get there by shopping every single time I want to go out because I must have a new outfit. They did take breaks, because breaks are essential for you to be able to be productive at work, but it's not always every time you need to spend 200, 300, 500, $1,000 on taking a break. The real wealthy people understood that being smart financially is the key to being able to hold wealth and grow wealth. I have started this journey by budgeting, recording my income and my expenses, and also starting multiple streams of income. People rather want to have passive income, but you need to realize that to have passive income that's passively making enough money for you to live your life, or for you to be able to afford to take a break, you need to start these avenues of passive income. I feel like people took this the wrong way on my last video, or one of my last videos on pretty privilege, and made it out to me saying that 9 to 5s are not a great thing to do. You could do something else besides 9 to 5, but look at the world we live in. A 9 to 5 is a great thing to have. You need to create other things outside of your 9 to 5 if you want multiple streams of income, because that is just one stream of income and it's very time consuming. Becoming that girl means knowing exactly where your money is going to, means not spending frivolously or unnecessarily on things that you could substitute, or things that don't pose a dire need in your life. It also means no more financial anxiety of your funds being drained, of you not knowing where your money has gone, or of you not knowing exactly how much you're profiting in your life. Because you don't know your income, you don't know your expenses, you just know that by the 15th of the month, all the money you made by the 1st is already gone. No matter how little you have, you can save it towards something. I personally use Piggyvest. This is not sponsored. I use Piggyvest to save, and I use a notebook, a literal paper notebook, to track my income and my expenses. The income, where it's coming from, how much it is, and also the dates of when I should be expecting it or when it has been paid into my account. And then at the end of the month, I tally it up so I know exactly how much I made within that month. And then for my expenses, I wrote down the date, what I spent the money on, how much I spent, and also did a tally at the end of the month to know how much I have been spending. Right now, for some reason, my expenses are more than my income. And I understand that it's because I started this hairstyling business. In the future, down the line, I don't have to start this business again. I already have the business. I can only now create income from it, which it makes it an investment. And speaking of investment, tip number 3, investing in my skills. You don't need a 30-day challenge to upgrade your skills. You don't need to invest in some fancy schmancy course for you to upgrade your skills. That may sound hypocritical coming from me because I did spend a certain amount of money to be able to learn hairstyling. That's because I have a background in hairstyling, which is self taught, but I did not know how to do certain things that are very popular and trendy in the industry. Which is what I'm saying, that if you know how to do certain things in the industry, if you were able to learn it some way, somehow, then you don't need these courses. If you were able to learn it through some avenue, you don't need to purchase an upgrade course to teach you something that you already know, unless you're absolutely sure that you don't know anything that's going to be taught in this course, unless you're absolutely sure that the course is going to benefit you financially. First of all, I learned hairstyling, the majority of it, through my aunt, who was a hairstylist, self teaching through YouTube, and also through practice while I was in university. I also learned content creation through self practice, through YouTube, and also through most recently through TikTok. The one thing that I would say not I, my father spent a majority of money on was my degree in civil engineering, which I couldn't have learned, without, number one, the background in it, and without his help, of course. If it's not something that's going to probably give you a degree, a certification, or just a huge jump in the industry that you want to get into, there's no need to pay anything to upgrade your skills in a course. I'm not knocking courses. I'm just saying that I personally have tried some which were an utmost waste of money. And the reason I know they were a waste of money is because they did not yield anything, because I wasn't too interested in that industry, number one, or I was going after that industry for the wrong reasons, not understanding that there is a huge background that you cannot fake in these types of industries, forex. And another thing in this investing in your skills, instead of spending money to look rich, I have gravitated to investing my money to actually be rich. It's something that's on the forefront of my mind, that if I'm spending this amount of money, like, how is it going to benefit me? And I have to have a series of reasons in a way it's going to benefit me. And tip number 4, digital boundaries brings mental peace. Starting out on the internet, or starting out creating a brand on the internet, was a minefield, because at some points I never knew what somebody was going to comment on a video of mine. Sometimes people would comment on my hair being nappy, sometimes they would comment on my skin. I was not used to people I didn't even know commenting on me, because those videos were, I would say, a representation of me and my skills and what I had to offer the internet. But I wasn't used to people's feedback or criticism. At some point, I had to realize that I personally wouldn't comment these things on someone else's post. I wouldn't comment about people's bodies. I wouldn't comment anything unless it was nice to say. I would simply just scroll past the video. So I learned that if people are saying all these really mean and rude things to people that they don't know on some other side of the world, then they're not necessarily happy people, because happy people wouldn't do that. So now I unfollow accounts. I block accounts. With the way social media is so specially curated to show you things that are going to incite some form of digital jealousy or digital envy of some other person's life. Like, you go online and you see someone who is 4 years, 5 years younger than you, and they have a house, or they're a billionaire, they're a born billionaire. I mean, some things you have no control over, and it doesn't necessarily get to you. But sometimes, even if it's your mate that first you to buy a car or first you to buy a house, we're human beings. Let's talk freely here. It can incite some level of jealousy in you. Of course, you have that spirit of God bless them, God did it for them, like, amazing for them, like, you pray your turn comes. But there are other times where we have weak moments where it's like, okay, well, where is mine? I'm behind on my rent. So I've decided personally to unfollow or like mute accounts that make me feel behind by their yardstick and by my yardstick of where I'm supposed to be in life. So becoming that girl is just about protecting your peace just as much as you protect your money, because I think those two things are very intrinsically tied together. Tip number 5: daily habits that align with the woman I'm becoming. Or we're getting older, certain things are now more important to do than when we had the freedom of ignoring when we were younger. I move my body. I go on walks, I do stretches, I do yoga, I drink more water than I used to, I journal, and I plan my week ahead of time. So I know at the end of the week, my time that week has been well spent. These are the things that are very low cost, almost even free, but they have high return in the foundation of how your lifestyle is built and in the foundation of your glow up as you continue to, get older. That's how you find these people looking 25 and they're 50, because they made sure that their foundation for their maintenance when they were younger was strong so it can continue into their higher years. So it's something that I do not want us to neglect. If you stop being active, if you stop drinking water, I need us to get back on that, because I was there before. I stopped doing all those things, partially because I felt like I had already been doing them, so those habits would remain with me, and also because life just got so busy in creating a business, working 3 jobs, in all of that. Life got quite busy. But once things started to free up, once my schedule started to have a little bit more lapses in them, I started to put more of these healthy habits in there, because they are essential to how we end up looking down the line, how we end up feeling, and how our lifestyle has an impact on us. If you're also becoming that girl in your own powerful, soft, independent way, let me know in the comments. What's one habit that you've recently added into your life? And also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like the video and do not forget to subscribe and turn on the post notifications. Like this video if it helped you feel more seen, and do not forget to subscribe for more content on self-love, soft life, and becoming the best version of you.